The Joy Business Van is brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and MTN everywhere you go.
Hi, Joy Business Van. I'm Judith Akos Atama, the founder and CEO of JA24 Foods. Welcome to Honey World. So, JA24 Foods started close to 10 years ago. During national service, I happened to run into some business idea. I was posted to Forestry Commission. We went for some inspection in one reserve. I met with the forest manager who introduced me to beekeeping. And myself, I've been an entrepreneur growing up. So I picked up the idea because I knew that along the line, even if I get a job, I was still going to venture into the passion of doing business myself.
Judith had no idea about beekeeping but decided to give it a try.
With the growing middle income earners in Ghana, even as far back as close to 10 years ago, I felt that it was something that could sell, and there was a need in the market. When I researched, then you told me, I came back to Takrady, did a few research on the market to see how honey is doing, and if I could start with that, and there was a need on the market, so I picked it up.
Judith studied chemistry at the University of Ghana. She considers herself more of an agriculturalist when it comes to passion.
Because I read chemistry, it gives me an in-depth understanding of what honey is on the chemical level, so that I know how to explain certain things to customers, because honey is not the same as we usually think. It varies from nectar to nectar. And even how the reason why honey does not expire, because I did chemistry, I better understand it so that I can explain it to someone who may not be able to understand.
But what was the honey market like when Judith started close to 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I found out that people were doing some bits of it, but it wasn't widespread. People would rather choose to go and buy it in their villages when they are coming back from funerals and all, and we're not paying attention to the one in the shop. Neither were the retailers also doing branding well enough to attract people when they enter the shops. So but 10 years down the line, people are doing competitive things on the market. There are very good brands that are competing the foreign ones, and there is a growing interest in wanting to walk into a shop and buy it, as compared to I want to get it only when I go to the village.
One of the first things Judith did before starting off was to research about honey.
Honey builds the immune system. It also lowers blood sugar level, because as compared to the processed sugar, honey is a healthier sweetener compared to the white sugar or the brown sugar. And also honey has minerals that makes you healthier. Honey also gives a lot of energy. I would recommend honey for those who jog in the morning or go to the gym in the morning, because honey has natural basic sugar that is basically carbohydrates that gives you energy instantly. So right after going to the gym, you can just have a teaspoon or two of honey and you are regaining your energy back.
Next, Judith had to find a source.
Initially, I was buying from the forest manager that introduced me, and then at a point I ventured into the bee farming myself, and as we grow, my farm was not able to still sustain us, and then other beekeepers, I'm in collaboration with other beekeepers, people who have been in the business longer than myself, who we source from in addition to our farms.
From no beehive, Judith currently owns 200 of them. Next time, Judith will share some more insight about bee farming.
Beekeeping is a very interesting kind of farming, and it doesn't require so much attention, so much land like some kinds of farming. So if you are interested in beekeeping, you get a hive. The box that we usually see is called a beehive. You get it, you get trained, because training is very vital for you to get the yield that is needed for you to grow the business.
And so Judith Ako-Satama is our guest for Women in Business today. So get ready to learn so much from her journey, to learn so much from her story. This is Women in Business, and this is where we bring women who are doing amazing and incredibly well in the world of entrepreneurship to share their journey with you. So if you are interested in hopping onto entrepreneurship or starting a business, these are the stories, the kind of stories that you need to listen to encourage you, to get you geared up for what to expect in any field at all you want to venture in. But before we get into this conversation, let me just remind you that Step Up Season 2 is coming, all right? And that is the tertiary edition of Step Up Season 2. Now, you know, the first season, it was great. It was incredible. You saw the numerous people that came on there that were answering trivia questions and were winning monies every week. It's the same for the season as well. An amount of 400 Ghana cedis, between 6,000 Ghana cedis, will be won weekly. Step Up Season 2 is stepping up with Syntex Tank this season. So Syntex Tank is holding Step Up Season 2 down in the season, and so a huge thank you to Syntex Tank. But then there are some other very, very attractive prizes or attractive things in relation to Step Up Season 2, and so let's get right into it. So for you viewers who will be watching Step Up Season 2 at home, you have the opportunity to win amazing prizes from Syntex Tank. So every single week that an edition of Step Up would be airing, there will be Syntex Tank question of the week. All that you as a viewer have to do is to be fast enough, quick enough to answer the question correctly. And so when you are the first to answer the correct to give the correct answer, you have to do so via WhatsApp or SMS to the number 050 833 8888. 050 833 8888, and win incredible prizes from the sponsors. And the person who answers most of the weekly questions fastest gets a 65-inch Samsung television at the end of the season. Incredible, isn't it? So step up with Syntex Tank, a unique television experience. Step Up with Syntex Tank is sponsored by Bell Ice, MTN Momo, and Angel Cola. And so it will be premiering on Sunday, 8th of October at 7:30 p.m. sharp. Don't miss, and make sure, we want you to also be a part by winning something. So don't miss on the 8th of October at 7:30 p.m. Right, so it is time for us to get started with our guests for Women in Business today. Make sure that you get interactive with us and get your pens and papers ready to learn so much from this conversation. My guest, like I said, is Judith. Judith?
Yes.
Right. So Judith is the owner and she's the founder of JA24. No, I was going to ask you that the 24, what does it mean? You're going to get into that. But I know that the JA is your initials.
Yes.
Right, JA. So in the video that we watched earlier, okay, you mentioned that you have always been an entrepreneur since childhood. It is something that you've always done. When you say that, what exactly do you mean? Is it that you had ventured into some other businesses previously before you went into this honey business?
Yes. So growing up, I seem to spot opportunities. So my mother's shop had some woman who comes from, I grew up in Ho, who comes from Accra with stationery. Only on market days. Ho has 2 market days in a week.
Okay.
So beyond the 2 days, people come to ask. And then I usually would buy it to friends who need it in school, pencils and all, in GSS and primary. So when she doesn't come, people come and ask my mother that the lady who sells in front of the shop. So I took that up, was selling it during my free time.
How old were you exactly?
Okay, so she leaves the West with my mom. So when it's not market day and she's not in Ho, I after school I display the West for her.
Oh,
and so I was making
you were
coins.
selling for her.
Yes, and then after GHS, the short break before going to SHS, I did that as a full business. So just for the fun of it,
So she was giving you the goods to sell.
Yes.
So how was the interest that the profit that you were making? How was the sharing like?
Okay, so she gives me at wholesale price and tells me that this is how much she sells it to the people. So I sell it and then the difference becomes mine.
And you were making money?
Yes, so I bought my trunk out of that for SHS and I was so proud of myself. Not because my parents couldn't afford it, but I just loved the idea that I could multiply something and get results from it. So it had always been some ice cream or toffee that my mom will help me out with to sell to children in the compound or something. So it's been there. So
when you went to senior high school, did the selling continue?
No.
It didn't? Why?
No, not
even you vacating and coming home?
No.
Why?
I just fully concentrated on school. Vacation is for vacation classes. I mean, I left it completely. But I knew that along the line after school, I would have to do my own thing some time to come. So it was even in mind during university days that even when I get a job, I will quit after a couple of years and do my own thing. I just didn't know what I was going to do.
I was going to ask you because in the video you mentioned that you had studied chemistry.
Yes.
And you were studying sciences in high school.
Yes.
So what was the dream? What exactly did you want to become?
Well, childhood dreams was medical school. Yes.
You wanted to become a doctor?
Yes, but probably I would have been a business medical doctor who will build a hospital along the line. But the business was going to happen sometime in life. Yes. So I ventured into chemistry, but the business bit was still boiling in me. I just didn't know what exactly I was going to do in terms of business. So I just coincidentally ran into the idea of beekeeping because of who I met during national service. And then I felt, well, honey's not bad. Let's do it. Let's give it a try.
So you've been doing this business for almost 10 years. This year you'll be 10 solid years.
Yes.
In this business, in selling honey. Now, let's come to, you went to uni. Didn't you start any business at all? Or you still just wanted to focus on your studies? Just doing that and then nothing more?
So I come from a home that you must study and pass your exams and get a job. So the support was not even there for you. Yes, they know you like something like that, but well, that should be a hobby.
Because I mean, someone would say that your parents would be excited about the fact that you were able, when you were little, before you went into senior high school, you were able to sell to buy your own trunk for school. So meaning that's okay, there's some potential in there, so let's just leave it. But it didn't work that way.
No, it didn't work that way. The support didn't come after a couple of years. I mean, results would have to show that indeed this is something that they would want you to do or something that is worth the while. I mean, at a point they felt that I had failed them because you had not paid all the school fees for you to come and sell honey. If it is honey, why did you waste our school fees? That's how it sounded like.
Exactly.
Yes, until results started coming out of it, and then everybody believed that this is a dream that they can support.
You know, this is one struggle that I know that a lot of parents are having, because you have a whole lot of people who come out doing going on careers that they didn't necessarily study for in school. So what would you tell parents who have a particular career that they want their child to study for and be that, but then deep within the child wants to be something else? Like right now, indeed, you have wasted all that, but then you've incorporated, you know, the knowledge you have in chemistry to some extent into what you're doing. And so I would say that some way, somehow, it's still in line and everything. But you have some people who completely are not doing what they studied in school. What advice would you give parents who are struggling with making their children understand that this is what I want you to do, so you better stick to it?
Well, I will say that don't leave your childhood dreams through your children. Whatever
the parents should live their childhood dreams
through their children, because whatever God created that person for may not be what He created you for. So allow us breathe. Allow your children breathe. Let them do what they feel like doing. Just give them guidance, because now the career path is wider. Yeah. It is not be a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor anymore. Even content creators are earning a lot more than some people who have a fake career that they are called engineers or whatever. So allow them do whatever. Just give them guidance, because you never know. I mean, my dad is now one of the proudest parents, I think. Oh. Yes, because I mean the works have been amazing, and I mean he saw a factory and was like, oh, I didn't know that this dream was going to come this far, you know. And so if I had given up, or probably not be a bit rebellious, I mean, Honey World would not be here. It would just have gone the career path that they wanted me to. But go for it. I mean, as much as it may be difficult, because I'm paying school fees. You want to be a musician. Why should I pay school fees for you to come and sit home and do music? Yeah. You know, but allow them. There could be something very great buried in that dream that will take you places. So please allow them.
So what about from the perspective of the child?
As for me, because I wasn't in the same house with them, my parents were in Ho and I was in Accra, and I was telling them that I'm looking for the job. It was recently my dad got to know that I wasn't even looking for any job.
It was recently?
Yes.
Like how long ago?
I think a couple of days we were having a conversation. I told him I wasn't looking for a job.
Why?
So, well, because it started during national service. I started buying the honey. So immediately after service, I had something to do. But they were insisting I should write CVs and all and look for a job. Yeah. I was telling them I was posting it. I wasn't getting any calls or anything, you know. But because I had some customers, I didn't want to leave. I mean, they pushed me to work at two places for a month. After a month, I was just worried about my customers, because I had a handful of customers I wanted to keep and grow. So doing the regular job was not giving me the chance to package and sell to them. So I left and just pursued it, got somewhere, sold some shares, and here we are.
Did you have a problem working for people?
No, but probably because I know that there is, or I had seen it in the few things I had done earlier, that there is a potential that if you pay attention to something and consistently do it, you get the result. I feel that even if I have to work for somebody just for the capital, and then I push it in, because I mean, if you are not consistent with things like this, once you are not on the market or on the minds of the customers, they replace you easily. So maybe because I was very anxious to see it happen. So I didn't want to. Well, I worked because I needed some capital, which was not coming from my parents. They were not going to give it.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah. They had other things to do, better things to do with their money compared to funding something that they felt was not worthwhile. Right. Yes. So I didn't have a problem working for someone, but it was a dream that was going to happen. Even if I had looked for the job and I had gotten it,
you would have still ventured into entrepreneurship regardless.
Yes.
Why beehive farming? Because, I mean, someone would think about the fact that, okay, beehive, I mean, bees, honey, what exactly is there about it that got you so attracted that you said that, no, I would want to venture into this?
Okay, so at the time, my capital was small. It was national service allowance. I think we at the time were getting 250 thereabouts or so. So I was
that was the NSS allowance.
Yes,
250.
Yes. So I was squeezing to get, I think I had about 1,002 or 1,005 thereabouts to start with.
How long had you saved?
Almost the entire year, small every month. Yes. So when I got the honey through the beekeeper who introduced it to me, I felt that first off, my capital is small. So it's a product, I would choose a product that will not expire quickly, because then I lose the capital, the small capital I had. And honey doesn't go bad. And then again, I found out that there was a need on the market. People were not packaging honey like that. Even those who were doing it, some were not labeling it.
You just see them in bottles and gallons, mini gallons and all that.
Yes, so I felt that the need was there. So these two reasons made me want to give it a try. And then again, along the line, people want to be sure that the honey they are using is good. And they don't want you to tell them that, oh, I bought it from somebody, I trust the person. They want you to tell them that, oh, I harvested it myself. And then again, people, even when you give them their trust, you give the beekeeper your trust. It's the honey seasonal. It gets to a point, probably he doesn't have it, but he still would want to get it for you. Probably go and get it from somebody who he also claims he trusts and gives it to you. So we had a situation where we got some stock we thought was good, we let it out, and then there was a lot of complaints because it was bad. So I felt that, okay, how about we build our farms on the side also? Then I looked into beekeeping, got trained, started. But of course, we are growing. Our farms is not able to sustain us. So the beekeeper who taught me beekeeping, I sourced from him.
Okay.
Also to add on to what we do. Yes.
So JA24, foods. Obviously, it's not just honey that you produce. What else do you do?
So we do cold pressed coconut oil. So we are becoming a health food shop or health food company. So people kept asking, oh, how about this? We need this also. People ask me this, my shop this. Retail shops are major source or major customers. So then people are like, if you sell honey, then look at another natural products that we also need in our shop. So then we added cold pressed coconut oil to it, and then palm oil and hibiscus tea. Yeah.
And hibiscus tea?
Yes.
So
there's sobolo, but it's in bags, like Lipton that
you didn't bring some? I would have loved to see how the packaging
is like. We didn't bring some along.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So now all these products, let's talk about how you put yourself out there. Are these products on the international markets? Are you able to take some from outside the country to be customers? How do you go through all that, if you do?
Okay. So internationally, we are not actively exporting. We were to Nigeria prior COVID, but COVID hit, transportation system made it more expensive, and cost of living is lower in Nigeria than here. So the higher cost of transporting it increased the price, and there was a break. But indirectly, we do export to various countries. People buy boxes and send out. Indirectly, so indirect export, yes. People send it out to family and friends and various places on the international market. So, but our concentration has been that we should capture the market, because the local market, because there is a need here as well. So much need here as well. As we are trying to build the international market for consistent exports. So consistently now we are not exporting. We are only doing indirect for those who buy and send out. Okay,
so people do buy and send out, but not you personally doing the exporting.
Yes, so indirectly, yes.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about how active your social media interactions are, because definitely people would see you online and would want to purchase this number of products for it to be sent outside of Ghana and then all that. Now, you mentioned a factory that your father saw that, hey, okay, so you really do mean business. How many workers do you have?
11.
11?
Yes.
Okay. Briefly, okay. The production, everything that goes on, the whole process and everything. How actively are you? Monday to Friday, weekends, every day? And do you have like more older people working for you? Do you have younger people working for you? Male-female ratio?
Okay. So we have part-time or regional reps. We supply across the country. So regional reps that are part-time workers, and then full-time workers that are here about 7. Unfortunately, the males are more than the females.
Okay.
And most of them are older than me. Yes. Just a couple that are younger. Most of the people. But I have a strong team that I would always give thanks to, that hold me down. We work officially from Mondays to Fridays. But if there is the need, we take care of your order even outside of these days. Yeah, so there are times that even when I'm going to church, somebody needs something, I drop it by the person's house or something. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So you produce cold pressed coconut oil and honey,
yes,
and then hibiscus tea.
Yes.
Okay. You know, one main thing that I've noticed about honey is that when you look at some international brands that produce honey, you see that it's not as dark as this. It's very light. I don't know the difference. I don't know how come. It's still brown, all right, but it is lighter. It's close to orange. You've seen what I'm talking about. Yeah. As compared to this, I don't know what's in their honey. That is different from ours.
So thank you for this question. People always ask it. Some don't even ask it. They have their own interpretation of it.
Right.
Then it means if I don't see what I'm used to seeing, it's bad honey.
That means it's not good, yes, right?
So the type of honey you get basically depends on the nectar the bee feeds on. So if it is crop A that is in season or that is flowering within a particular time of the year, and the hives are closer to that, it is likely to feed on nectar from that plant. And every plant has a different kind of nectar. Some are dark, some are light colored, some are sweeter than the others, some are bitter. Even nectar from neem is bitter. So the honey from areas that have a lot of neem trees is likely to be bitter.
Tastes bitter.
Yes. So that gives you the color you get, the smell. Some are more pungent than the other, thicker than the other, sweeter than the other. And the lighter the color, the lighter the thickness. So the yellowish one, or getting to orange, is very light compared to the darker ones. And the darker ones are not as sweet as the lighter colored ones.
The lighter ones are very sweet.
Yes, they are sweeter.
But they are all equally healthy,
yes,
very healthy.
Yes. So your honey being different from what you see today from probably what I supplied in January is just based on what the bee feeds on when they are producing it. We don't interfere in any form. They only go out, feed the tropical bees, unlike the ones in the cold regions that have to be fed during winter because they can't fly out.
So it has nothing, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with, okay, you buy honey today from this same product, from this same brand, and then this one you go like, oh, I feel yeah, next time metal and then you're too light. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely,
it's still in great shape. It's great taste.
Yes. The only time you can tell that honey is not good honey is for you to do some few tests on it.
How?
So you can drop on a piece of paper. Good honey or pure honey does not wet surfaces. So if you drop on a paper and you turn the back of the paper, it should be dry. As long as you want to keep that paper, it should still be dry. It shouldn't wet it.
It shouldn't wet it?
Yes. And in that same light, if you dip a matchstick into the honey, with the honey on the part that you light, when you strike, it should light because it shouldn't wet the match. Those are just a few you can try on. So just by looking at honey's thickness or the color, you can't use that to tell whether honey is good or not.
So these two tests, the paper and the matchstick test, to tell if it's quality, if it hasn't been diluted with anything, you can do that test. Okay. Yes. That's nice. I've learned something. That's really new. So where can we get your products? Okay, so I have over 600 retail shops. Nice. I don't want to be biased, but especially in Accra, every street you should have a shop that sells honey well. So probably you can reach us on our platforms and our contacts, and then we tell you the shop closest to you because we supply filling station shops, health shop. We are trying to reach every corner shop. Anywhere you are, you should be able to
so that I don't give a name that the other person will come and ask, why didn't you give me a shout out? So there are shops all across the regions in the country. We supply from the northern parts to the southern parts, right? Various regions, 600 shops. So, and places that we are yet to enter, if you still need it, we'll send it to you, and you still have it.
So how can we reach you?
I'm reachable on 02068135554. Again, 02068135554. We also available on Instagram and Facebook at Honeywelled, one word, honey. Honeywelled honey. Honeywelled is one word, Honeywelled honey. And then our website is www.JA24foods.com.
Yeah. How much is this?
28 CDs.
That?
40 CDs.
28, 40 CDs?
70.
Oh, 70 CDs.
Yes.
Okay. And the coconut oil?
45.
For this size?
Yes.
What size is that?
1 liter.
1 liter.
Yes.
So you go beyond?
Yes, so there are gallons for the oils. There are gallons for even the honey. Yes, so
these prices are pocket friendly.
Yeah,
very pocket friendly. Anyways, viewers, that's it for Women in Business today right here on Prime One. I hope that you've learned a lot from Judith Atama. Judith, before you go, last submission you want to put out there? Okay, so to female entrepreneurs, let's keep up the light. It's not easy at all. Ghana has the highest number of female entrepreneurs in the world. Yes. So let's do it. It may be tough, but let's do it. Yeah, breaking the barriers.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get out there and break barriers. And to customers and family and friends, I'm grateful for everything. I can't mention names. There are people who want me to mention names, but I'm sorry. So everybody, we are grateful for how much you've helped us get to this point. Patronize our products. Reach out to us. We have also prizes for those who want to resell and all. So please contact us and we'll sort you out. Thank you.
Judy, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. And so my guest for Women in Business today has been Judith Atama, who is the founder, the CEO of JA24 Foods, Honey World, producer of good quality tasting honey, cold pressed coconut oil, palm nut oil, and hibiscus tea. Very incredible, isn't it? Judy, thank you once more for being here and have a lovely, lovely morning. My name is Isiedua Akumia. Don't